guys, welcome to the Dubseed tutorial series. I'm here with Nick, aka Ghost in the Machine. Nick, you got a tutorial for us.
Yes, so I want to talk about specifically taking stock sounds or different patches that you may have and using effects to sort of make them original and kind of add some layers to them so that it's not just taking the stock sound, it's starting to create your own sound around it.
Interesting. Let's hop into the project file over here.
Great. So these strings were stock sound from the DAW I was working with, and I wanted something that was going to be a lot more dreamy and sort of atmospheric. And the two ways that I really like doing that, one, primarily reverb. I think reverb adds a lot of different dynamics and sort of texture to the sound that you're working with, and I applied a lot of it. What I like to do is I like to start with almost full reverb so that it sounds like it's way back in a concert hall,
right?
And then move my way back so that I'm sort of finding that instead of slowly increasing it, because your ear sort of gets trained to not notice the small jumps, and so when you're starting from way back and then you hear it in the actual mix like this, you can kind of feel like, okay, that's exactly where I want it in terms of the levels with everything else.
Right, so you start with like a full hall reverb.
Exactly.
Crush it down to like what could be a room or just something as soon as you find that sweet spot.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the other thing I was using for this was grain delay, which is something new that I've been working with. Grain delay it takes small samples and then sort of plays them right after the initial hit of the sound. And one thing I like about it is you can get crazy with it. It can completely make any sound sort of very chaotic. But if you're really careful with sort of setting the limits and the grain size and when it's actually recording them, you can get that sort of ping-ponging effect, and it adds tails to each of the sounds. So I'm just holding chords down on my MIDI keyboard, and it's adding that extra sort of vibrato and tremolo into both ears and sort of giving it that dreamier, all over the place sound, which I really dug.
Interesting. And so what is it that, like, as soon as you threw the grain delay on, do you remember like what parameters in particular give it that like more ping-pongy feel?
Yeah, so I was trying to have a lot of so the standard parameters for it were like a lot of actual delay, so that it would delay for a long time to kind of keep it going, and then have the grains pretty small so that it was just taking the tail end of the sound and then actually putting it in both ears.
Yeah, it definitely, like that in particular, in addition to the reverb, you can hear how it transforms it to like a very live sounding feel where it sounds exactly like you would expect a string section to play it.
Exactly, and then when I mix it into the actual, it's just adding another texture, and it sort of gives it that dreamy space, and then it sort of connects both sides of the track, which I really like. So yeah, reverb, grain delay, messing with those can take sort of a stock sound and turn it into your own and something that's really dynamic and has a lot of texture to it.
Very cool, Nick. Thanks for explaining that. The track is called
Medulla Oblongata. It's a remix I did. It's on my SoundCloud and soon to be on Dubseed.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. This has been the tutorial series, and we'll catch you very soon for a new tutorial.